Hello, and welcome to Prison Architect. We are going to be checking this out today, starting with a brand new prison. Recently they came out with version 2.0, which is what we'll be taking a look at. I haven't taken a look at this game in some time, so we'll go ahead and kind of go through it a little bit together. So let's go ahead and take a look. As you see here, when you first open up the game, it starts with a blank map. But turn down the music a little bit here. But you know, you're kind of fixed on how big the map is and whatnot. But what you can do is just go hit the escape button, and you can go to create a new prison. That allows you to choose some actual options. So it gives you the option in this game whether to do a male or female prison. Basically, the big difference here is that women prisons give you the ability to, well, like, some of them can come in with babies, I guess. It adds kind of for an extra challenge, and there's extra rooms and extra things that you can put into the game that way. We'll go with the male prison. You can also choose your warden, which this is kind of the default, which is kind of just the most balanced one. The other ones have different perks to them, and will give it bonuses, or they have positive and negative effects, basically. Like this one gives you the bonus of, well, you're less likely to get people that are violent, or people that are fighters. And so on and so forth. So, I mean, they have various different things. Now, we'll go ahead and stick with just the regular warden. And then you can choose the size of your plot. Well, I mean, and when you choose the size of the plot of land, it doesn't really matter. It's not like you're paying anything extra. It just gives you more room. So, for the hell of it, let's just go ahead and do a large plot. I turn off Fog of War. Fog of War can be more of a challenge, and what you can do to combat the Fog of War, if you do have it turned on, is to have CCTV cameras, and also upping the amount of patrols you have in a certain area. Basically just leaves you in the dark if you don't have an official there watching. I'll go ahead and have that turned off. Generate forests. I don't really care for that, or lakes, or buildings. Forest just gives you trees, lakes give you some lake areas, and a lot of times you have a hard time building on them. You can't really build on them unless they've changed that here for 2.0. Not 100% sure there. Generate buildings, it's not even fully intact buildings, but it'll just be bits of buildings that you can connect onto if you want. Failure conditions, basically, it's once again kind of an extra challenge. You get fired, and you get a game over scenario if you let too many deaths happen, or too many riots, if you go bankrupt, that sort of thing. Because I kind of suck at this point, haven't played in a while, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off as well. Gangs are another challenge. Basically, there's 2 or 3 different gangs programmed into the game. They may come in that as part of a gang. I think they can recruit others once they're already in. And then they try to take over certain parts of the prison, I guess. We'll go ahead and have that turned off. We're going to do a pretty low-key playthrough here. Events will just be random things that come up. It might be a random fire. It might be another prison is closed down and you're about to receive 40 prisoners unexpectedly, that sort of thing. Weather and temperature gives them another thing to worry about, like gives them another need. So if they get too cold, they'll start to, you know, be unhappy. If it's too hot and there's not enough windows, they can be unhappy. It requires you to put in hot water pipes for showers, that sort of thing. Unlimited funds just gives you sandbox mode, which we may do that. Enable tools and cheats. Let's see. Achievements aren't awarded. You won't be able to sell this prison. I'm not too worried about that. This basically lets you test your prison, so it'll give you kind of the developer tools to, like, instantly start a riot, or, you know, spawn in a bunch of stuff. We're probably not going to do that one. Let's go ahead and check the unlimited funds, and let's hit play. So on a large prison, just going and pausing it here, you get this really big plot of land. Like I said, we're just going to kind of go through and see what there is to offer. So, unlimited funds, I'm not too worried about making money here. Now, the first thing you'll want to do in any case is bring up your foundations menu. They actually have the option to turn off automatic light placement now. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. We'll place our own lights. You can choose between brick and concrete. Honestly, either one's fine. Let's go with brick. They're going to unload some stuff that initially came off the truck. And so you have the deliveries and garbage areas to start with. So let's go ahead and we'll just create an area like so to start with. And you start off with 10 of these workers, and they should, or is it 8? 8. Yep, start off with 8 workers, so they're going to go ahead and get to work with that. We'll also need to place a entrance, as it's telling us that we require one. Either a jail door, large jail door, actually any door fits the criteria, but as it being the front of the prison, we'll probably want a jail door. We'll do a double wide one there right in the middle of the deliveries and garbage area. Also, by default, well, first of all, I have to read this letter. Basically, it just kind of tells you some stuff to look for. You can delete that. And also, by default, you'll have prisoners set to intake within the first 24 hours. If you aren't ready for that, you can turn that off here in the intake tab here under reports and just switch it to closed. We'll take a look at kind of some of the rest of this here shortly. We'll leave intake on for now. So once we're done with the room and we have that entrance put down, it's going to form this. We want to, looking at, let's see, accept your first grants. And the nice thing is the grants kind of tell you what you need to be looking for. So the first one you'll want to probably do is the basic detention center. It gives you some extra money up front, and you'll get more money when you finish it. And you can accept up to 2 grants at a time to start with. You can get more later when you unlock that perk. And the administration center. So usually these first 2 are the ones that you'll want to do. And it kind of tells you off to the side here what we should be looking for. So for basic detention center, we need a holding cell, we need a shower, we need a yard, kitchen, canteen, at least 2 guards and 2 cooks. The administration is 2 offices, hiring a warden and an accountant, and to do so you have to unlock finance. So let's get started here. There's also, under rooms, there is a, oh, where is it? It may not be open or unlocked yet, but there is a intake room as well. So, at least I think so. Well, things, sometimes, like I said, some of these things have changed quite a bit. Let's see. And they may have gotten rid of it too, in favor of just a holding cell. Oh, it's receptions right here. Okay, I just can't see. So reception, I want to do one of those. That's kind of where they get the prisoners ready to go. It doesn't have a size requirement, but just needs to be indoors, have a desk, a table, and a chair. So let's go ahead and we'll do, how about we'll do concrete walls inside, all exterior ones will be brick though. So they'll basically come right into this reception room. And we're going to do it kind of like this. So basically it'll come in here, reception, and then you'll kind of flow through that way. And we can go ahead and designate this room as well. So, reception, we want it to be this area here. And it'll tell you, now it'll also tell you, it's indoors, doesn't necessarily have to have a door on the other side, however, we will just for the extra security. So we'll put another large jail door here. We need an office, desk, a chair, and a table. The nice thing is that when you are near a room, it'll highlight the things that you need. So basically this would be what you would think to be like a receptionist desk. And this is actually a pretty big reception room, but we'll kind of just throw this back here in the corner. and then it just needs some tables. Which the tables are, I think, are a little more important because they actually put uniforms on them. So yeah, it's more important to have these.
I just want to go back.
Okay, so we have a few tables there, and as you see, the notification kind of went away. This room is actually meets all the requirements now. What we can do though too is we decide not to do the auto light placement, so that means we'll have to place lights ourselves. I don't know why. Sometimes and maybe I should just turn it back on, because I don't always have the best light placement skills myself. And these lights aren't going to do anything right now because we have no electricity. We'll get electricity set up here in a moment. We haven't actually fulfilled any of the requirements yet, and they're coming in 15 hours, so let's hire a couple more workmen. We need to give them some jobs to do, though. We need a holding cell, which maybe that should be our next room, so you kind of snake into this holding cell, and that way there's kind of like different layers to the prison. And we're definitely going to need to expand, especially with this, because I made the reception area. The holding cell will probably be just as big. And once again, it'll be kind of like that. So let's go to holding cell, which it's highlighting for us because it's telling us we need to build one. Okay, so it needs to be enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors. So this does have a requirement where there needs to be, there's a door here, but we will need to put one over on this side. So we'll go ahead and do that. That'll meet that requirement once it's built. We need a toilet and a bench, which I think we'll get multiple of each, because it just kind of depends on how many people we end up having. We need a bench. There we go. It's highlighting beds and stuff because you can put those in a holding cell if you wish. Usually I like to keep intake to a level where that isn't an issue. So we'll just kind of place some benches down, and then we'll kind of plop some toilets down in a couple of random spots, which they're not going to get any real privacy here in this holding cell. So we'll just go ahead and do something like that. These two can kind of stare at each other from across the room, which would be kind of creepy, but so be it. And then it'll also show that we'll end up needing to put water in here as well. Now there's only one more thing here that says that there are no canteens accessible by this cell. So that just means we need to go ahead and do that. The holding cell has been checked off. We need to build a shower room, which we may build a shower room to begin with, but we may end up taking it away. Just because I sometimes like to put personal showers in their cells, and then in that case they don't need to be labeled as a shower. So now we have kind of this space down here. We definitely need to expand. I do like to have a pretty big canteen usually. So maybe we split this off and this can be the kitchen. We can expand a canteen down here. And then maybe this other area can be turned into maybe some kind of hallway / maybe this is where we put the offices. So they're a little more centralized. So let's go ahead and do, because the offices need to be 4 wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, wall on the 5th. There's 4 wide, wall on the 5th. Although we should probably give them a 2 wide walkway. And actually the offices can maybe be on this side, so that's 4 wide, wall on the 5th, so they'll go ahead and do that. We'll leave space for 1 wide for a door. Let's see. So it needs to be kind of like that, because then it should be 4 by 4 here inside. We'll leave a space open for this door. This is and we'll kind of do that. So we'll have our first 2 offices kind of planned out, and I think that we'll kind of end this hallway here, and this can actually be something for the kitchen, and then this whole area here will be the kitchen for a canteen that we're going to build down below. And we'll probably put a wall here too, because we may actually close this off with a jail door. So we'll have the jail door here, so there's extra level security going into the administrative offices. They will get staff doors here and here. So there's going to be a little bit of layers of security going on there. So we'll go ahead and unpause it, and they should go ahead and start that work that I put down there for them. So we need to go ahead and add on some more brick foundation because we do want to add that canteen down below, and then cells are probably going to end up being off to the side here. So let's go ahead and do something like this. Pretty good there, but let's go ahead and just extend it off this way, which I know is costing a lot of money. Like I said, I'm not being very fiscally conservative with this playthrough or this run through because, you know, I'm not really worrying about the money. I just want to see what's going on. So we will go ahead and put a large jail door there to connect to the new section. So this hallway is going to be kind of like, you know, if we do have to lock down, it's going to be multiple layers before they can start to find their way out. And I'm going to go ahead and, it might already be too late, but I'm going to go ahead and do the auto lights so that it just goes and puts it on there. This will qualify as the entrance to this area too, so when it's finally done building. And there's, as you see, there's more trucks coming in. Let's go ahead and get utilities up and running, because we may just go ahead and accept our intake of prisoners here pretty quick. And they can hang out in the holding cell as intended until we're ready for them. So let's go ahead, and I usually like to put the utilities outside somewhere. Because I don't know how big this whole thing's going to be. Utilities are actually going to go here towards the edge of the map. So do that, and you need a water pump, which the first ones of these are actually free. You get one capacitor for free. I'm just going to go ahead and waste a bunch of money. And you can build the capacitors around like that to increase how much you got. The water pump will need electricity, so we need to bring a power cord over like that. We'll wait until those are built, and then we'll go ahead and add on more afterward. This is still going to take them just a little while. As long as we can maybe get the beginnings of everything kind of going. Like I said, we can hold a good number of guys in here for now. If we get the canteen ready, then obviously they'll be able to eat, which will be nice. There's no entrance into here right now, which we'll need to find one or make one. It'll probably be on this side, but we may also do one over like here, and then maybe deliveries come in this way, or even this way. Have a staff door here and make this a staff-only area, so prisoners still have to go around. Might be a good idea. However, if people wanted to break out, they just have to rush through here and go. But we'll see. Maybe we'll do that to start with, and if security starts to become a problem, then we'll cut that off or change it. So they should be just about done with that. We're burning through the initial bits of the money that we started with. That's okay. Let's go ahead and drag down this cable. And it's going to just kind of go all the way down. And it did put the lights in for us, so they're going to go ahead and do that here. Looks like now, maybe? Well, it's kind of funny because sometimes they'll path up using the quickest like terrain they can find, which this is faster than walking through the grass, I guess. So we have that line running down. We need to get a large water pipe running down as well. Use the larger pipes to carry you for further distances. These paths can cross, so large pipes and electric cords can pass through each other. Use the smaller pipes to actually bring it to your toilets or to your shower heads or sinks or whatever, because the short pipes can only go a certain distance. So they're going to work on putting those lights in. They should start working on putting in these electric wires as well. Looks like most of the capacitors are going in, which is good. The actual power station is only going in now, so, and each notch on here represents one capacitor. So looks like they still have a few more to do. If you hover over any build, it'll tell you or show you where this person is. If you push the F button, it'll actually track down and show you which guy has been assigned to the job. So that's kind of a nice feature. So we just got to wait for them to kind of keep building here. In the meantime, let's go ahead and try to plan this a little bit more. We need this kitchen area. So let's go ahead and get 2 staff doors. Let's go ahead and do one here and one here, so that way they can get into the canteen. This is also how they'll try to bring deliveries through. And we can't designate this as a staff-only area yet because we need deployment, which means we'll need to continue to do more with our staff stuff. We also need to consider where we're going to put more offices, which we may just add on more here. And so you can have like your first 2 offices on this side and the rest of them over here. They're putting in these lights, which is good. Most of them are in. They are going kind of slow on these, though. Looks like the electricity's all the way done. Capacitors are done. Power station's in. They're starting to lay the wire. The water, on the other hand, is kind of a slower process right now. But it looks like that's what they're working on. They got these doors in already, which is good. And they should start prioritizing laying wire down, as it looks at the moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and designate this room as our kitchen, which is kind of an oddly shaped room because we'll have this bit right here, but as long as you connect it together, it'll be good. Let's go ahead and designate these as offices, which if you go across, do a stretch across like a wall, it'll just divide it into 2. So this just knows that we want 2 offices. Canteen, let's go ahead and designate this area as the canteen. It's quite large. It's quite an awkward shape too, actually. Which this whole thing's not going to be a canteen. I think only until about here on over. And then we need to make this little strip here at the top as well. So, there's the canteen. We're only a few hours away from having inmates, so let's go ahead and hire our first. Let's go with 4 guards to start with. They'll go ahead and hang out in deliveries until they get here. Hopefully we can go ahead and get the electricity and the water put in before they arrive. Let's go ahead and get some lights in. It's going to be quite a bright room, so we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, where are they coming along with the... Let's go back to the Utilities tab. So they just have to bridge a few more connections for power, which they're doing now. A few more connections there, and we'll also have water. So it should all kind of power online here pretty quick. There goes the power. And... let's see. Water should be following any moment now with this. So there goes the water. And when it turns solid like that, that means you know that you're good to go. Let's go ahead, and we do need to extend our power to cover this area as well. So that'll cover the reception area and part of the kitchen. We'll probably need to do more here in the kitchen. And then that's fine. I mean, as long as we get like the required stuff actually set up in terms of like so that they can eat and stuff, we can then work on the cell area a little bit slower because they can go back. They can use the holding cell for as long as they need. So let's go ahead and plan out the kitchen here while we've got it on pause. This kitchen is going to be okay for now, but eventually we may need a bigger kitchen. We may need eventually to knock these offices out, turn this whole thing into a kitchen. And then the canteen can always expand in a different direction. Or we can have multiple canteens. That's the nice thing, is that you can have multiple. So let's go ahead and plan this out with our objects. So it's highlighting different things because we're on top of different rooms right now. But what we do need is, it's indoors, we need a cooker, a fridge, and a sink. Let's place the sink first, because I think it's the most awkward one to place. It's kind of the biggest and bulkiest. We're going to go ahead and just put the sink here. It's going to go kind of in the awkward corner. And we can do with just one at the moment. Let's go with a cooker. Cooker is probably the most important one. Fridge is pretty important as well. So let's go ahead and get 2 or 3 fridges. Yeah, let's do 3. That seems to fit all right up there. Cookers, we'll go ahead and put, they can kind of go in a line here. And we'll make 2 rows of them. So that should be plenty of cookers, I would imagine, to get started. If we do need to in the future, we can expand them along this wall too. And if we turn them around, we could expand them along this bottom wall, possibly, at a few spots. Which in that case, let's go ahead and we're going to cancel that. Because we're going to put the sink on this wall, in case we do want to put the cooker. So it's more lined up in an even line. But what we're going to find pretty quick is that we're going to need a lot of electricity hooked up there. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get our canteen all ready to go and set up. It requires a serving table, tables, and benches. So the serving table is where the cooks are actually going to put the stuff on. You don't need a leave room behind it. I look at it as more of like a buffet line. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 of them in to start with. If we do need to expand in the future, we'll save room along this wall to put them down. Let's do tables and benches. So we want to leave probably a walkway up there. You want to space them out kind of in between because the table's going to go in the center. Leave a gap. So basically you can just do these every 2, because either there's going to be a gap to walk through or there's going to be a table in between them. And to start with, I think we're just going to do kind of this one line. Let's go ahead and start putting tables in. So that'll be a table, that'll be a table. And honestly, you can do this part any way you want. It's just the way that I end up doing it. So it looks like we'll need 1 more bench on the other side. And then that leaves plenty of room. This will probably be about as far as we go for those, because we'll put the serving tables over there if we need any more. And there should be plenty of tables to get started with. So let's go ahead and unpause them, and they can kind of go on their way. We'll set up the offices here next, but we're about to get the intake of prisoners here any moment now. So let's go ahead and do that. So what you'll notice with, and actually I think I did okay, but these require direct power, like lined up to them. They, like lights can kind of be powered from a distance. These need to be powered like directly, but they're sitting right next to each other. They're fine. If you can see closely, there's actually power wires that get put underneath them, and that's why they need to be powered directly. So this will need water, so let's go ahead and find where our nearest water source is. It's up there. We do need to bring a water source down further. So let's go ahead and, doesn't make sense, but let's go ahead and dismantle the utilities going through here. I actually want to bring down a large pipe down through here through the wall. It'll actually just run through the office, and honestly, you can run large pipes to different fixtures. It's just if inmates start to try to dig out, they can dig out large pipes a lot quicker. So they have 1 working toilet at the moment. We do need to replace, let's do small pipes just here, so they're going to come off this main one. Like you definitely wouldn't put large pipes in a prisoner cell. And we do need some cooks as well, so let's go ahead and hire 4 of them. That should be fine. So they'll go ahead and start getting some stuff ready. They don't have electricity at the moment because I was a dingus and I didn't reconnect it. So let's go ahead and get that reattached. They're going to try to cook anyway. I don't know how good of quality that's going to be, but... And now that the prisoners are here, the doors have all shut, so now they're kind of started acting the, using the security systems and whatnot, so. Alright, so then we have power back, so everything is fine and dandy here at the moment. We've got our first guys in. We do need a shower, we do need a yard, so we're still running a little bit behind. Hopefully, usually these guys are pretty easy going to start with. Also, we probably need a storage room because we're just leaving piles of stuff everywhere. Let's go ahead and pause it. Let's go ahead and get these 2 offices set up. So we will need some lights, first of all. They're kind of smaller, so we can kind of get away with... maybe we'll just do lights in the corners, so that shouldn't be too bad. Maybe a little bit wasteful, but... they need an office desk, a chair, and a filing cabinet. So the office desk... We'll probably just try to make these pretty much the same. So we'll do, which way? And I always don't like how the keyboard on the desk is right in the middle. It's like, where do you want to put the chair? So let's go and do it off to that side. And then we need a filing cabinet, which we'll just kind of put over here in the corner. And for the heck of it, I usually like to, well, maybe not. But yeah, we'll do that, because that should meet all the requirements for it. And so let's resume. I think we're okay utility-wise. It's running right down the middle, so it should hopefully power off to each side. prisoners are probably going to be escorted through here from time to time because we haven't designated it as a staff-only area. We're going to go ahead and permanently open this door, or lock open. There we go. This one will only close in case of emergency. We do want that one to close because it's out on their cell door. We want this one to close because it's going to be protecting the office area. Once we get enough enough guards, we'll probably have one patrol in here that just kind of is designated to this door. We have one office done. The other one is about to be. So let's go ahead and head into our staff. We want to hire our warden, which will take that office. It labels it with his name on it. So he'll head in there. And then we can't hire the other one yet because we have to unlock it. So you go to this bureaucracy tab up here. It has this kind of a hiring tree. And so you see, you start off with the warden, and you have to basically research or hire all these different people and different things. So the first one it said to get was the accountant. So you do that through finance. Costs $500. Takes 6 hours. So we're gonna go ahead and click that. And it starts a countdown timer, and then it tells you everything that they have to provide off to the side. Usually my next one ends up being maintenance because it gives you like a cleaning crew and groundskeeping. Because if you take a look, the prison starts to get pretty filthy pretty fast. So they're currently off eating right now, so they did get food, which is good. The kitchen doesn't have any lights, so let's go ahead and change that. So we'll kind of put one just over near the sink. So we'll just kind of do something like this, so they'll have some lighting. Won't be, especially this back corner, because it's not close to any doors, not close to anything really. And because the kitchen is the kitchen, let's go ahead and do some windows. No reason why they shouldn't be able to look out the window. Then we've got nice things. You got these little like one wide and 2 wide windows. And if we were playing with the heating and cooling on, the windows help release heat because the kitchen becomes a very hot place. Okay, so I think we're good there. We're set up there. It's saying here that it's blinking that we have 8 prisoners, we have 8 normal security, 2 minimum security, and we don't have anywhere to actually put them in terms of a cell, so they're hanging out in the holding cell. It says we're getting more prisoners coming in. Let's go ahead and take a look at that intake tab. We're going to go ahead and close it for now. I don't want to take in more people than we can handle. We probably could handle another intake considering the size of the holding cell, but let's go ahead and keep that for now. So he is currently unlocking finance. It's giving us a little percentage deal right there as it goes. And then we'll hire an accountant. That'll be done. We do need a shower in a yard as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do the shower anyway. So we want a brick foundation. We're going to fill in this whole thing, I think, because this is going to be where future offices are going to go. And then we'll do kind of a designated shower room. It'll be more for these guys and anybody that ends up not being assigned to a cell, because when we start making cells, I think we're going to incorporate some showers into them. So let's go ahead and do something like that. Should be fine. And what we'll do is there's going to be a large jail door. Our first entrance will be right here. So that's how we'll go about that. And then we'll get a regular jail door here, because that'll lead into the kind of the office area, sort of like it does on this side. And we'll probably build a staff room over on this side too when we get around to it. And that keeps your workers happier. Alright, so that's about done. This door is being held open by garbage, so luckily they're not running out. Sometimes they would run for it. Alright, and I think it's about done, so there it goes. The room's forming. It's gonna autosave on me here. And they're gonna start putting some lights in, so that's good. Alright, so we need to plan out probably where we want the offices versus where we want the shower. The shower is obviously going to go up here. I think it's safe to say that we could probably just do a line straight down this way, where this whole part down here is going to be offices. Right, because they fit in perfectly right here. So even if I were to put a wall all the way down, offices can fit within this space, which is good. And it keeps these guys separate. So, shower area up here, but this is a little bit big, so I'm wondering if maybe we can put something else, like put the shower maybe in the back area here, and something else further up here, maybe like some kind of common room might work. Shower room doesn't need to be very big, but we'll probably go something like that. And so they're going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get some utilities over here. We need some electricity for the lights anyway. So we'll just do that. And we'll also do that. And then we also need some water, which we'll just continue this around here. Just running outside, and then we'll start running it down the wall. I think that's a good idea. Because then we're bringing it over for when we start our cells, which will be over in this area here shortly. Alright, so then if we want a room, we want to make it a shower room, which will be here. I think by default they have a shower time, and right now they're just not able to do anything during it. Let's go to objects. They have these drains and shower heads. Shower drains, we'll just put 2 right there, and we'll just leave this as an open entrance. Alright, so then to just say, really the only thing you need in a shower room is shower heads. So, in the shower heads, you can either attach them to a wall, or that you can just kind of put them out here in the open, which I imagine in that case you're saying they're attaching to the ceiling. I usually like to attach them to walls and keep it as a pretty wide open room. So we'll go ahead and do something like that. Kind of giving everybody their space underneath it. And I leave the corners open intentionally as well. I'll see why here in a second. Okay, so the corners are left open. This one we're just going to leave open. The other ones are, for whatever reason, sometimes they just want to take a poo while they're here. So we'll put toilets in the other corners. And so then we need to see how that's going to affect us utilities-wise. Small pipes will just kind of run all along here. They'll run all along here. And we'll see if we can do that. Let's just form into one big circle coming off that side. If we need to reconnect one up here, we can. And if we want to see the regime, you can go ahead and click here, or you can go out into reports and find it. So they're currently sleeping. They do have an hour of designated shower time in the morning, which they were going through intake yesterday anyway, so that's not like they missed out on too much. But then they're usually locked up. They have an hour of free time here and there. They have eat time, they have yard time, but we don't have a yard, so that needs to be kind of our next thing. If we want to possibly expand the canteen down here, then I think the yard needs to go maybe on this side. So, for a yard, let's go and do it as an outside thing. We'll do it just a fence. I think that should be fine. And we're going to go and put the fence here for now. If we do expand the canteen downward, I'm sure well, let's do it a couple over, actually. If we expand the canteen down, then the wall will come down probably about here anyway. So let's go over a few. And we won't do too crazy. It's still a pretty good size. Kind of a square yard. So we'll just do it as a fence. once that's well, we'll go and put the door in now. But it'll be kind of the same thing. Let's do a large jail door so they can get out. And you don't really have to put too much out there. You can put lights, which lights outside work differently than lights inside. The outside ones don't need power hooked up to them, and they have a different look to them as well. So they're going to start doing that. Looks like that's all installed, which is great. While we're at it, let's go ahead and designate a storage area so they stop leaving stuff all around. Eventually, I usually like to make a storage room, but for now we're just going to do like a storage area, which will just be outside. That's also where some of the workmen will hang out when they're not doing anything. So they'll finish building this, then they should prioritize putting stuff away. As you see, the lights outside, they don't have any power linked to them, and they look like that, which is kind of a nice touch. They don't actually light up a whole lot, but they do look nice. Yep, see, as you can see, they went ahead and grabbed the kind of their excess stuff. Let's go ahead and get a few more guards in here while we're at it. Now we outnumber the prisoners, but that's fine. Just kind of getting ahead of the game here. As you can see, it's starting to look kind of filthy, so we do need to kind of get there. And we should be able to hire the accountant by now. And so we'll put her down, that becomes her office. If we go into here, we can move him on to start doing maintenance, the warden, but she can do stuff at the exact same time. We do tax relief, bank loans, extra grant, so you can do a third one instead of just two. We'll do the tax relief. It'll take her quite a while to do so she'll work on that. So it just says that they're both researching. So this area down here should be done. We can go ahead and go under rooms, designate this as a yard. And as you can see, the requirements are already fulfilled, because all it needs to do is it just needs to be enclosed, or it just needs to be outside. I don't even know if it needs to be enclosed, to be honest. Yeah, it just needs to be at least 5 by 5 and secure at least behind one door. Okay, so yeah, it does need to be secured, but... Oh, that's another thing, too, that they've added recently. If you go under rooms and you hover over one, like, let's say, a kitchen, it'll highlight which rooms you've designated as a kitchen. So if you have a larger, like this, it doesn't really matter, but in a larger prison, it may be harder to find what you're looking for. Canteen shows that we've got one. Deliveries shows where we have it. You know, the storage, oh wait, it's up there. You know, so I mean that's kind of a nice touch as well. But what you can do for the yard is that you can go ahead and provide some stuff for them to do. So if we go under objects, the big ones are the phone booth and the weights bench, but they'll use other things out here as well. So we'll just go ahead and put in a bunch of these, so they'll get delivered out here. Do some phone booths, maybe up here against the wall, and so those will get installed as well. I know that they'll use like prayer mats outside. They added in these arcade cabinets, but I'll probably wait to put that in the common room. I probably won't put that outside. They may use a pool table outside. They now have these large TVs, which are kind of cool. And then what you can do too is like, you could do like, let's put in some grass. Or you can put like some kind of concrete down or whatever that may be. So, as you can see now it's shower time. They're going to, I guess they've got someone coming over here to let them in. And if they decide they want to shower, they'll go ahead and do it. Like I said, some kind of, we'll do some kind of, common room in there, and we need to build some more offices here as well. So as you can see, they came down and they installed the grass, so that's all done. They're putting a few more prayer mats, and then this area should be ready come yard time for them. and that can help meet some of their needs, which if you go into the reports, we might not be able to see needs yet, but yeah, needs is still locked until you get a psychologist. But we're definitely opening more tabs here. So valuation on the prison so far is 10,000, because I am severely in debt from not really caring about this prison too much. We do need to work on the cell area. So what we'll do is that we'll maybe continue this along as a hallway, and then maybe there'll be an area down here as a hallway, and we'll put cells kind of here in the middle. So I do like the idea of keeping 2 wide, so let's go ahead and start working on at least the first batch of cells. So cells need to they're only required to be 2 by 3 wide. What we're going to do first is we're going to go to the canteen. We're going to stretch this out by just 1 more. And that's due to this. Like, sometimes I don't want them to get, like, stuck or whatever. So we're going to do that. Now let's go back here. And we're going to do... So 2 wide. So basically you need to have something like that. I don't even think that's quite wide enough yet. Because you need that. There's going to be a door here. The wall is going to be on this side, and then it needs to be 1, 2, 3. So basically, it needs to be like that. There is an option to unlock smaller cells where you can kind of put them into 1 by 1 if you're that mean. But otherwise, this is usually kind of the standard size. And the nice thing is that in one like this, you can fit, or you should be able to fit, a shower. But let's go ahead and try to figure that out, because if not, we should probably expand it before we start making a bunch of them. So what you need in a cell is a bed, a toilet, and that's it. So if you can do a bed, a toilet, and a shower, that would be great. Because you could do something like bed here, toilet here, and then you can usually do like the shower down there at the end of the bed. And then what you can do to top it off is you are allowed to put drains underneath cell doors, like that. And so that way, even if they decided to start rioting or break their toilet, break their shower head, and it starts leaking everywhere, the drain will at least help with that. And what you can do is once you have 1 cell built, you can go and use the quick build option, and then there's a clone. There's also a basic cell. So like kind of what I just said, if I were to plot this down right now, it'll put up the walls, it'll put up the bed, the toilet as well. They also have these options for luxurious cells. You can get more points for how many good things you have in them. And we could take a look at that here in a while. Because your cells are graded and whatnot. So, but let's go ahead and do the clone feature. And so if you hold right click, you can drag this box around, like so. And sometimes it's nice to do it maybe like that, and then you just know that, well, the bed's going to go there, so we can do like that, and just kind of copy it on down. And so it should copy everything in the room as it is, so this is where sometimes the automatic light kind of gets annoying, because like in this room there's going to be 2 lights, unless we remember to take one out. So we're just going to continue this all the way to the end of the hallway here. And we'll leave that open there at the end of the hallway.
May we have your attention, please?
Alright, and then once these get built, I haven't labeled them as cells yet, because I want to kind of do it all at once. And then these guys will start to move in. Plus, we don't even have electricity over here yet, so that's the other thing. Let's go ahead and get an electrical wire. I want it running probably like down like this to the end of the hallway. There's also a nice undo button here now too, which is nice. And let's go see how our electricity is doing. Since we have a kitchen hooked up, we're still doing fine. Once, you know, it's red bars all the way down here, has to reach the top before you start worrying about issues. They are having some more issues now because I have to wait for the guards to come and let them out. We currently have like 4 sitting in reception. Once we unlock our security, we can do that. So we'll go and do that. Looks like we can hire a maintenance worker now. So we need to work on building some more offices. So we can use that same clone tool that we just did. It actually still has our other one saved in there. But let's go ahead and do... We want to copy like that? No. We want to copy like that. So it puts the wall in. And that way we could put it like so. And we want to do... Let's do at least that, and then we can maybe make that a staff room, or possibly another office if we need. And let's go ahead and get a foreman. Says he requires an office, doesn't have one yet. We also need to look at water. Our water situation is actually okay. We've got this right here, so let's run it along the wall, like so. I'll run it back this way as well. And then what we can do is we can start doing like... Everybody's gonna have like their own private line coming off the main one. It's definitely nice to keep these workmen busy at the moment. Okay, so we got that put in, so we'll start working on that. Looks like they're working on the offices right now, which means that, yeah, he should have his own office now. I don't know why it's not labeling it with his name, but it looks like he is in an office. So let's go ahead and get him on cleaning, and then he can do groundskeeping after. You can queue him up if you need to. Oh, and did we not... Is there a reason why that wall's not building? Okay, it is still scheduled to build. I just apparently have too many jobs going on for them right now. I think it's funny though, like the wall's not built yet, but he feels the need to go through the door when he got there. See, that's it's like these things. Like we can dismantle that random light in the middle of the room. There's one here. I mean, if we dismantle these lights, at least they will, at least we can use them again for something else, somewhere else. Get rid of some of these double lights that are in here. Luckily, there's only a few. Okay. Well, there'll be more over here, I think, but figure that out here in a minute. Storage area is looking pretty full. We're starting to get full anyway. How's he doing on cleaning? I want to hire some cleaning crews. Doesn't look very good here at the moment. We can also put down some fancier flooring, like in that screen, like where we put down the grass down there. We can put down a different floor, which we'll do here shortly. Oh, I forgot sometimes when you pause it, it goes back to the slowest speed. Well, they're working on it. They're definitely trying. Trying their best. Now that they're at the offices, though, up there, maybe they'll all team up on this and it can go a little faster. Yeah, let's go ahead and open up our intake again. And we want to do, because we have, well, let's wait until we have the cells open, or designated. Because the nice thing about the intake is that you can fill to capacity, which will just automatically fill to as many cells as you have. You can do it to a total number of prisoners. So, if we, let's say we have, I didn't see how many rooms we built, but, you know, if we want to go 10 over, we can just like find out how many we have, just add 10, fill to that capacity. That way we always have like 10 people waiting in the holding cell, just in case. And they're starting to get, workers are starting to get tired, I think, is part of the problem. So let's go ahead and build them a staff room. And staff room, let's see, staff room just needs to be 4x4, so same size as an office. Needs a wide sofa and a drink machine. Well, what we're going to do is it's going to be a little bit wider. It'll just fit into this last little space here, so it doesn't look super awkward. Otherwise, it'll be the same, and they're already rushing over here, even though there's nothing really in it yet. So it's going to have a staff door as well. It's going to have, we have 7 lights in storage, which is good, so we'll just kind of sprinkle those around like so. How are we doing? Utilities should reach, but we'll just have that. And then it needs the wide sofa and the drink machine. Zoom in a little closer. Here we go. I like it highlights radio and arcade. Oh, so then they do interact with an arcade cabinet too. So let's go ahead and do the wide sofa. Let's do like that, like that. So there's like a sitting area kind of up there. Drink machine will kind of be right there. I think you only need one really. And then let's give the workers an arcade cabinet. Why not? They deserve to have a little bit of fun. Alright, and they're finishing up here on the last few cells down here. Cleaning crew, are you ready? They are. So let's go ahead and let's get a few of these guys, and they're gonna make a big difference, I think, from the get-go. Let's open that door for them. See? They just wash all that filth away. It's also nice to have them because you can build a laundry room later on, and the janitors will help work in your laundry room. You can also have prisoners work in your laundry room as well. You can have your prisoners work in the kitchen. There's a workshop where they'll make like license plates and stuff. Alright, staff room's coming along, just about done. One more couch and then it's finished. I don't know why it does this sometimes. Like, the sprites for the different things, like, they'll line up kind of weird. Like, these did not line up across from each other. And we're going to dismantle this light as well. Yeah, he's resting. He was using that. And so does it matter? It depends on if you put it up in a corner against a wall versus not. I don't know. Whatever. I'll live. Alright, so those are all done, with the exception of that going in, which is now there. So we can go ahead and rooms. we can designate these as cells, which you can just drag these all the way across. And so it takes a second to think about it, and then it says, hey, you've got 15 cells now. And so these prisoners are going to start going or being designated to their cells. We've got 8 prisoners, 15 cells, and they're all kind of going in. A lot of them are just showering right away because they can do it during lockup time. They don't have to wait for shower time, which is pretty awesome. Another thing you do with the drains, which I didn't, is that if you put the drain right beneath the shower head, it doesn't spread out everywhere, but I guess it didn't used to work that way, so I always forget that you can do that now. See, now they're designated shower time, and it doesn't even really matter. We'll probably do that, we'll probably go ahead and do, the common room here pretty quick too, because I think instead of like designating shower time, we could like do more free time, and then in their free time they can either go free time, they can do whatever they want really. They can go to the yard, they can go to the common room, they could do whatever, take a shower. It's gonna take a little while for these janitors to get caught up, but once they do, it's already starting to look pretty nice in here. They did the top part of the prison, haven't done the offices yet. And as we build more stuff, there won't be as much for them to do. Let's see. He's working on gardeners right now. I'm not too crazy on that. We don't really need those a ton. And how are we doing on this? She's still working on tax relief. He's not working on anything right now. Psychology's probably a good one to get. We need health, so let's just go ahead and queue him up. Policies are good. Micromanagement's good. Let's see. So we do have security approved, so we need to go ahead and get him. And then he can start working on patrols, I think, first, and then deployment. Intelligence. We'll work on the other stuff after. So let's go ahead and get our chief in. So he's going to go up and find an office. Oh, did finally copy over that was the foreman's office. So here's that. So he's going to go ahead and start researching as soon as he gets there. See, I'm thinking about switching these to staff doors. Let's go ahead and do that. That way they don't need a... That way it requires a key, but it doesn't require a guard to come let them in every time. Two guards come for 2 different doors that are like 5 feet away from each other. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So basically it just requires an extra level of security in terms of needing a key to get into the area, but that's probably more practical. And chances are, even during a riot, if we do a lockdown, or, lockdown and lock all the doors, it's like, how many prisoners are really going to get trapped in here? And even if they do, it's like, are they really going to go for these guys? Maybe. Some of them might want to go for the warden, but... Alright, so we now have 8 people in here. It is complaining because one prisoner is unable to be assigned to a cell. Why is that? And then where is this prisoner? So we've got... Oh, because he is waiting for solitary, we don't have one. So let's go ahead and build a quick little solitary area. And do we want to do that here at the end of the hallway? That might not be a bad use of this area, because do we want this as a kind of a walkthrough area, or do we just want everybody to have to go down to the canteen to get anywhere? You know, I kind of want to keep that open. So let's go ahead and put solitary somewhere else. I want to kind of flip these and just kind of do these down here. Because it'd be like... do that. I don't know. You know, let's go ahead and plan these next set of cells, and then I will do that real quick. So let's go to objects, we'll just do it as like a mirrored opposite. So just the bed will go there, that goes there. The light goes in front of the toilet. The shower head went here. And then the drain went here. Otherwise, it was just like that. Throw in a regular jail door, which we get for free because we took one off that other bit. You know, what we could do is we could copy these over to about here, maybe somewhere in these last three, like where these three cells are, those could be solitary, just in this row. That might be kind of nice. That's weird. That is not in the... Okay, never mind, he was holding it. Okay, so let's go to quick build, we'll go to clone, and we'll do one of these like that. So let's go ahead and copy that over. They'll slowly get to work again. So that guy should be able to be assigned a cell after he receives his punishment. Alright, so yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll leave these like last three open, and we'll do solitary. So solitary doesn't really have a required size, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it just needs to be enclosed. So they can be... What I would usually do is I give them at least a toilet, but then it'll be a wall, a toilet, a wall, a toilet, wall, toilet, and then wall, toilet? Well, but we need a wall, like there, so I think you just have this weird looking, bit here where there's just an open gap. You know, if we would have made this like one wider, which maybe we do, let's go cancel. Dismantle. Maybe this will work? Maybe not. Yeah, let's go ahead and dismantle this. Maybe that's a little better? That thing's in my way. Let's run some power cable down here. Alright, just waiting for some stuff to clear here. Okay. Looks like they're wrapping up with this set of cells here. We need to expand our intake too. Hopefully by this next day. Now that we do have access to the psychologist, we do have this like temperature meter saying kind of how people have complaints at the moment. Let's go to our staff. We can go ahead and hire him. Gardener, let's just do 2 of them. They can just kind of keep up on like this stuff, this crap that's growing on the walls. Okay, so everything seems to be done and cleaned up there. Let's go ahead and dismantle that bad boy, and dismantle a couple of these extra lights that got put in. Okay, that should be good. So let's work on this little solitary area then, and we can get this guy, this last guy, in for his punishment finally. So it could be, they just need to be spaced out like every other. And then now it works out. Now it works out perfect. So they'll at least just have toilets in solitary. That's all I'm going to give them. And then just one wide. Nothing too crazy there. And then I guess they'll probably get a light as well. Okay, so we got that. And then they have their own designated solitary doors, which will be like so. That light still needs to be installed, but otherwise that should be about good. Let's go ahead and let's not label these yet until I've got plumbing ready to go. So I need to get plumbing. What we can try to do is we'll just kind of snake it back over like that, almost like an opposite of what happened above. At least if they do try to dig out, then it's kind of adding a few twists and turns for them. The most whack job plumbing job I've ever seen, but we'll see. Alright, and then these should start to come online here. And we've got 10 guards, 8 prisoners. They're starting to come online, so let's go ahead and label the cells at least. And let's just go ahead and label the solitaries as well. So now that they're solitaries cells, then this guy should be escorted, which he is, down to serve his time. And let's go ahead and open up some intake. So we now have room for, what was it? 26? Let's just go ahead and do fill the capacity for the time being. And we're not taking max sec, but we'll go ahead and take medium sec and min sec. So that means 18 people are about to roll through here pretty quick. Let's go ahead and up ourselves to, I always want to stay, at least to start with, stay ahead of the curve. You can always, a little bit later on, it's fine to have more prisoners than guards once you have things established. Like now that I have 25 guards, I probably won't hire any more here for a while. So, okay. And so we'll get those guys coming in here pretty quick. We've got all these cells up and operational. He still's got 50 minutes of solitary left, then he'll go and enjoy his cell. So at least if you're filling to capacity, then it should only fill to the cell capacity, which means we really shouldn't have anybody staying up in the holding cell. The holding cell is just going to be for overflow. Let's go ahead and set up a common room here. So there's just kind of that extra space that they can do certain things. So common room, there's really no requirements for it other than it just needs to be indoors. But what you can do is you have your objects, and there's a lot of things you can do. The pool table is one of them that is more or less designated for this room. So go ahead and put 3 of those in. This is also where you can go ahead and you can put in more phones, which I'll just put a few because there's some outside in the yard as well. Put a few chairs here and there. We'll put more chairs over here because I think we're going to go and put one of these large TVs in, which has like an area of effect, and you can put chairs in front of it. So I think that'd be a good idea. Just go throw like a couple weight benches in here. What else should we put in? I don't even know. Let's go ahead and mark this door to lock open. Really no reason why that shouldn't be. Okay, so the TV's in now. So if you hover over it, it's got a pretty wide area of effect, and I might even dismantle and move it over, just because it's kind of up near the pool tables right now. And if we bring it down, honestly, I probably put this on the wrong side of the room. I probably should have put it on the other, or maybe I'll put it down here. Yeah, let's do that. Even though you can't really center it. Alright, let's put it there. Oh, we got our new intake in, so we've got a bunch of people coming in. And they're being escorted to their cells after having a strip search. We do have the deployment, guard patrols and whatnot, so you can designate people to patrol each room, or you can just you can drag a patrol line. Mess with that here in a few minutes. So now this area of effect is about more of where I want it. So let's go ahead and throw in some chairs. Which I won't fill in every spot, just because it doesn't make sense practically, but we'll probably do 3 rows. Sounds good to me. The nice thing is having these chairs in here too. You can unlock some of the like psych sessions and alcohol, AA meeting type things, and they do require chairs in a common room, so this could be used as one. And so actually, for the hell of it, let's go ahead and we'll just throw one up here as well. That'll be for like a group leader if they do need it. So that should be fine. I think the other thing too, well, the temperature's gone down in the prison, so they seem to be okay. At some point we can feel free to give them some more freedoms, like give them some more free time anyway, because they do have quite a bit of lockup. They also have that shower time, which isn't really needed. So I think to start off, to be nice, we'll just go ahead and do something like that. So they'll have like 3 hours of free time in the morning. And then we do force them outside. They have 2 meals a day currently. That should be more than fine. we're doing okay so far. So up here it's telling you, it always kind of tells you your intake situation. So right now we have it set to fill the capacity, meaning that currently we're closed to new inmates because we are full to capacity at 26. If you click it, you see the intake report. So we're currently filling 26 because that is our capacity. You could do everybody that's available, which would just mean that you get everybody on here. You can set to a certain number per day if you want it to be any different than 26. So let's say we wanted to set it to like 36, so we have 10 people sitting in the holding cell. We could do that, or obviously where we're at. So those are kind of the options you got there. It does have visitor information. We currently don't have a visitor's room, but it does tell you that there are 7 families waiting to visit. They visit between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Gives you kind of a staff update where it says 2 staff members are exhausted, 1's currently resting. Looks like second one's going in there, so they should hopefully be good to go here soon. And it gives you kind of especially as it's approaching and during meal times, it'll tell you kind of the food situation. So it's saying that the green lines are indicating about how many prisoners we have. Once you get enough prisoners, it's not like an exact number. And then it'll say kind of how many meals you have available for those prisoners. So looks like everybody got to eat who wanted to eat. Looks like there were actually a few meals there that were left. So that's good. And so they're just waiting, I think, until 3 o'clock here, and then they'll go and out to the yard. So at this point, they're forced out to the yard. Kitchen crew is going to come in down here and start cleaning up the area, take it in, wash stuff on the sink, throw out garbage, whatever they may need to do. These guys are forced to be outside, which some are more willing than others. Currently, danger level is decreasing, which is good. But now we have that needs tab unlocked too, because we have that psychologist, and so it kind of tells you graphically how things are going. So green is good, that means it's satisfied. It's kind of listed by the number of prisoners you have. So if it is blue like this, that means that it is active, meaning that that need is currently in the middle of being met. So being out in the yard, I guess, gives them a sense of freedom. There's one of them using a prayer, or a few of them using a prayer mat, so it's satisfying that spirituality need. But yeah, it gets up into the yellow, so I mean, some of them have some bladder and bowel needs at a medium level, which they're about to go back to their cells here in just a moment, so they can go satisfy that in the cell. Some of them are getting tired. Most of them are good on food, but that is increasing. They'll eat again at some point. And like clothing is just going to kind of increase until we decide to build a laundry room. So they're all going back there now. So a lot of them, yeah, heading right for the toilet. So you can see the bladder and bowel ones are going down really fast. Any of them that have a high enough hygiene need will also do that at some point as well. So I think this is a good start. Obviously, like I said, this prison's not making a whole lot of money. That's not really the point. I want to get into some of the later game things, see some of the other objects, and build some of the other rooms that maybe I haven't been able to check out yet since I've played the game. And I think what we'll go ahead and do is we're just going to go ahead and pause and save this prison here. If I do continue this particular prison, this will be like a stream-only prison, so you'll see it here on the stream or in the video anyway that follows. And we will pick it up next time, right from where we left off. So, till next time, everybody, take care.